Hello and welcome to Triple P Paint, Play, and Parlay, your source for everything miniatures on the paint table, playing on the tabletop and PC, and plenty of parlay between me, the Game Master, Mr. Nick, and we are coming to you tonight not for 2 hours, but for a full 3 hours to kick off your weekend right. Lee, what do we have on the paint table tonight?
Well, I'm going to try to finish up these lovely dumpsters we did last night. I'm going to do a little emblem work on the front right here, and then I'm going to do a little special free hand on the back here, on the sides, just make them look like, they came from New York. The way New York I'm pretty sure that's how they manufacture them in New York, with, graffiti and, rust spots. Then I guess we'll start doing some Crisis Protocol models. I guess. I mean, Nick, you sound pretty excited about that, right?
Oh yeah, I'm a Marvel zombie, so looking forward to that.
All right, I'm gonna bang out this Crossbones. Hopefully, that's my first model. Then I guess there's this guy they call Spider-Man. I don't know. I guess he's pretty popular. I don't know who he is. I'm more of a Venom guy, but I guess apparently Spider-Man's pretty cool. As always, thank you for joining us. If you can join us, that's great. Share with your friends. We try to have a good time here. We don't take anything very serious, but we are dedicated artists and gamers. We love to play tabletop video games as well. Just want to make sure that y'all know that we're here for questions. If you have something you want to help with, how you do things, if we're struggling, just we'd like to hear from you guys. Nick, go ahead and take it while I stick this guy in here somehow.
So we have some excellent damage control branded trash dumpsters that we'll be finishing from our Terrain Thursdays that we kicked off last night. And then we will be painting the arch nemesis, one of them, modern age of Captain America, who is my favorite superhero and the one I've probably read the second most comics next to Batman, but that's only because Batman has more comics than any other character. If there was as many Captain America comics as there were Batman comics, I probably would have read them. Coming from the legendary run of writer Mark Grunwald, rest in peace, sir, and from the Bloodstone saga with the introduction of Crossbones, Cap's on and off girlfriend Diamondback, and after that we'll be painting the classic Peter Parker Spider-Man. He's poised in a classic Spider-Man pose on a fallen girder and rubble, and it'll be done in the classic styling of Spider-Man, I think, but that'll be up to the artist. And we'll be seeing the dark skull visage of Crossbones first.
Mr. Nick, I think your screen froze. Right here. Yep, OBS is frozen. It's back. So last night I realized I have a lot of blending to do and a lot of mixing to do. So I brought my hard palette for when I decide to start blending colors, and hopefully it speeds up the process. So, and you guys can see what's going on. But yesterday I started losing colors into my wet palette, and the sponge is just eating everything. What Spider-Man's your favorite Spider-Man there, Nick?
I'm a big fan of just classic 616 Peter Parker, uh, starting usually around the Craven the Hunter series, going into David Michelini's run and his creation of his nemesis Venom in the 300s there before getting his solo book in the 90s before they all left for Image Comics.
Yes, I do like episode number 300. It's probably my favorite comic book cover of all time. I love that Tom McFarlane did a tribute when he got his 300th comic of Spawn. He did just like the cover art he did for Marvel Comics for Spider-Man. Um, Little known fact is people over here don't know me very much, so I've Todd McFarlane and Spawn. Todd McFarlane alone is one of my most favorite artists ever. That and the guy that did the really, I think from the '80s, and he's like super buff Batman. I forgot his name. He's like the more hardcore version of Batman.
The Frank Miller Batman?
Yeah, Frank Miller. Yeah. Yeah, anything. I love 300. This 300 too.
Frank Miller, Chris Claremont, original hardcore Wolverine limited series, one of the best of all times.
Can't go wrong with Wolf. So what I'm doing right now is I'm literally just making a wet palette for each color and a dry palette as well. So when I start mixing colors, if I am having a problem or I want to see how things work, I will be able to blend it and I can control it on here. If you guys missed it last night, we took a turbine 3D print model and we turned it in. No, don't touch it. We turned it into a model that's been sitting there for a while, or like a turbine motor that was sitting in the, I guess, scrapyard. It was all kind of rusted and corroded. Still had some paint left. It was pretty cool. You guys should check it out. It's on the YouTube. I think Maximum Carnage is that series right there is when I started following Spider-Man. That something about that series really just intrigued me. All right, guys. Sorry, almost have this all set up for you. Nick, how many people got watching?
We have 2 viewers over on Twitch, and we're waiting for some people to join us over on YouTube, please.
All right. that should be it for right now. Oh, I forgot. Forgot me purple. No, I got it. I just forgot to put it on the. No, I actually got everything today, Nick. Imagine that.
That's going to be a gold star for you today, buddy.
Right. I was late in the morning, but I got all my paint, so that kind of offsets each other, right? That's a no comment. So that's
As long as you're looking pretty for showtime, that's good.
right. I just can't help it. Sometimes it's just natural. It comes out. I mean, have you not seen this? I mean, I'm kind of a big deal. Pretty hot. All right. To all the kids out there, just want to say, hope you guys are having a good day. Right now, everyone's into comic books, and back my day, they pretty much called us comic book nerds. They made fun of people like this. So I know everyone's like really into comic books and stuff. So you guys are coming up in a good time in your lives. Nick, how about you? Do they look down at comic books in your time?
We actually had quite a large contingent of comic book fans and people that we would trade with go to the couple local stores in the area back home in the south suburbs of Chicago, where I was raised. And we actually had about 4 guys who were excellent artists that would also do a lot of comic book art and study hall and stuff like that. And so not too much of nerd problems with being comic book fans that way, but a little bit. But that's typical for anything as a kid growing up in the 80s.
Right on.
The 1989 Batman movie helped a lot to bring a lot of good press to the comic book industry and such like that, with the excellent performance of Mr. Jack Nicholson as the Joker, of course, and Michael Keaton doing a great job as both Bruce Wayne and Batman. And that really helped out, I think, really get the industry into kind of the prime. And then the craziness around Death of Superman and the kind of crash of the industry in the 90s, and everybody going to Image Comics, and then coming back in the early 2000s.
Mr. Nick, I forgot to do something real fast. Give me a second. Do you mind filling the viewers in about the run of years when Spider-Man started and when he started? I'll be right back in like 2 seconds.
Spider-Man, one of the classic 616 characters, created by mostly Steve Ditko. I know Stanley likes to take credit for everything, but we know what he was doing. And many iterations of Spider-Man throughout the years. Of course, the many versions of Spider-Man of Into the Spider-Verse, an excellent animated movie from a couple years ago showing the many different versions of Spider-Man. I'm actually quite partial to Brian Michael Bendis' run for the Ultimate Spider-Man. The first 100 issues or so of that series is absolutely classic. Really fantastic tour de force on art for Mr. Mark Bagley there, being able to kick out issues of both quality and speed, which is something extremely lacking in the modern comic book industry now. And I even, have a pretty good affinity for your Miles Morales. I enjoyed him in the Spider-Verse movie and thoroughly enjoy the modern PlayStation games that include him, and just a very interesting power set, very interesting backstory, and really well done, and a great addition, I find, to the Marvel Universe. I know some people don't care for him or care for any sort of change. I, of course, am not a big fan of the what's it called? One New Day, where they undo Spidey and MJ's marriage in the 616 comics. It's just a kind of a silly force thing that they did. I actually prefer the comic book characters to age and be, kind of move a little bit through time instead of being perpetually 32 years old. But so is the industry.
Sorry about that, Nick. My tooth. For those that don't know, I have a broken tooth below my gum, and my mouth is beginning. I had to go put Oragel in because it was starting to throb a little bit. All right, here we go. Nick, I'll let you pick the. You said, what are these symbols called? It looks like a bulldog on the chain.
That's the symbol for damage control. They're the guys who clean up after the superheroes wreck downtown, midtown Manhattan. I believe they've been featured in some of the modern MCU stuff that they come in and clean up the problems. Sometimes I think they're kind of taking some of the Scutari technology or something in the like Shield series and such like that. But that's the symbol for damage control.
Okay, cool. I'll back this up just a little bit because I got brain to do. All right. So first things first, we're gonna take black Templar contrast paint from good old GW. I'm gonna thin it down on our dry palette. They get nice and thin. Water, it's a 50-50 ratio. And then we're gonna add just a little more water. So I guess I'm gonna say 3 water to 1 contrast. Just a nice pool up. Got a little bit of white on these areas. The inside is damage controls. We want to just make sure that we fill this in just so you can see it really good. I try to let the natural highlight of things show up. So I unless I'm really being a tryhard, I don't try to wash my models too hard with contrast paints. What about you, Nick?
Usually it kind of depends on the model. For example, the Tyranids, I usually do a green and a purple wash on all the green and purple of them to give them a definition at the end before the top coat. On the Tau, I've kind of do them in a very clean, idealized version of them. So I like to keep the vehicles pretty much pristine looking. So it kind of depends on the unit or the army or what the look I'm going to with how much of a wash I do something.
Yeah, your Tau, all your mech suits in your Tau look amazing. Whatever you got going right now on that camera looks great, Nick. I had to pull it back a little bit. I noticed last night it was a little too close, losing the details. All right. Don't hit it, Lee. All right. So we got the contrast in there. Oh, we started freehand in the back here. So we're gonna. I got some markers right here. Actually, paint pens. Now, I can freehand it, but I'm not gonna do that on screen because it'll take forever. So I'm gonna take a little cut corner here. These are gel impacts from Uniball. Yeah, gold, silver, white. We'll see how well they work. They said they run on any surface, so we'll see how well that is. Oh. I think our first thing we should do is triple P, right, Nick?
What's that?
Oh, first graffiti should be our company, right?
Oh yeah.
Our YouTube of triple P. So all paints I'm using today are scale 75, except for the contrast, and if I need it, the blue wash. So we're going to kind of just put down. We're gonna do a red square. Just we'll clean it up once we see where we're sitting at, or add to it. Let's see how well this works.
Tonight we have a little bit of Marvel Crisis Protocol news appropriately. There's been a release for the Elektra model in a jumping over terrain with her hand planted on it or something she's jumping over. A quite dynamic action pose. Also coming out of this Hell's Kitchen collection is Shadowland Daredevil, painted in a black, red, silver in the classic Shadowland series. And along with that, we also have Hand Ninjas. Some backup. Trio
good.
of them coming out. They're appearing out of smoke as the hand does, and wielding katanas and a couple of other improvised ones.
That's coming out pretty good, huh?
That's great looking. Yeah, I like the uniqueness of it.
So I figure I put a little tribute to Stan Lee. I just gonna say Stan Lee on it. Because without him, we wouldn't have Spider-Man or anything.
The estate of Steve Ditko would have to say about that.
All right, we're gonna let that dry, and I'll come back and clean it up. Now we're gonna hit the symbols on front. What color do you want to make the damage control again, Nick? I'm sorry. Burn. Thank you. Mr. Nick came over here and showed me what their emblem looks like. I greatly appreciate that. So while we're doing this, Mr. Nick, and get this all situated and started, what's this weekend looking like for us?
Tomorrow we'll be picking up again with Mornings with Mr. Nick. I will be doing some more Tyranids. Then we will be preparing for our kill team. So we'll be doing Tusk here in the studio in the afternoon. And then if you are down for painting tomorrow night, we can do a painting show, or that'll be up to you.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know me. I always want to throw some paint on the models. That sounds like a good time. What about Sunday?
Sunday, of course, is the Lord's Day, so we've gone in the mornings for worship, and then we will be picking up in the evening with our Sunday comics, where we'll be finishing or progressing on with more Marvel Crisis Protocol.
We're trying to keep it varied, and we're trying to keep it different. We're not trying to get put in one niche. That's all we do is this one thing. We're doing Marvel Crisis Protocol. We're doing Kill Team. We're doing 40K. We might even do Underworlds. Who knows? We're trying to keep it open, but me and Nick both are video gamers and gamers. Sorry, it sounds like I got a mouthful of marbles, but I have a mess in my mouth. It's nothing. Yeah. So we play tabletop. We play the uh, PC, the PS4, whatever. Uh, we just enjoy playing games. We just enjoy hanging out. We enjoy people that are like-minded individuals.
I also noticed a large dinosaur on the table outside.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I've been sitting on that thing for over a year and a half now. I finally put them together. It's I forgot the lizard people from Sigmar. Yeah, Age of Sigmar. I don't ever play Age of Sigmar, but I like the lizard people. I like the Aztec look on them, and that's actually going to go to a good friend in Colorado after we're done.
Those are the Seraphon. They're the dinosaur-like people from Age of Sigmar. And eventually, at some time, I will break into the almost complete army of Box Caradron Overlord. That will be my Sigmar army.
Yeah, I haven't decided what I want to do. I've been thinking about the OCR Bone Reapers. I think Reapers. Sorry, Reapers. But I like their like Egyptian type of feel to them. I guess they're like the new version of the Tomb Kings, from what I understand. That's one model I wish I had from 40K is that Chaos Scorpion. I don't know if you can still get that, or if that's a kit model, or if that's Forge World. I don't know about that. I haven't looked ever.
Do you still have Necrons from the 9th edition
Bro,
box?
I'm sitting on those things too. I got a problem. Yes, I do. Why you gotta call me out like that on the internet?
Well, I believe I should also put them on my list of potential armies for Kill Team then.
I mean, you mean my Space Tomb Kings?
Sorry.
So while I'm painting back here, I'm trying to figure out the rules for the new kill team, and I'm looking at the mission setup for the matched play missions, and I'm looking at the setup for the kill team board. I'm looking at these icons on here, and I'm thinking, what are these blue, white, and red icons on here? They don't show any sort of thing. There's skulls that I determined were the objective points that need to be captured, and I'm trying to figure out what are these blue, white, and red things. There's no guide on this mission. I go look at the other sections of the website for them, and I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. And then I'm just kind of looking around, and that's the icons for how distances are measured in Kill Team, because they have distances based on a color-coded scheme that goes with the measurement tool that comes with the game, so you don't have to use the rulers on it. And after that, I felt extremely stupid.
Yeah. At least you didn't go out loud and say, "Hey, what's going on? Is I don't understand. I played Kill Team for years. Yeah, 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 yeah." And then,
Having gone through a pretty quick once over of the rules and watching a few excellent videos from tabletop skirmish games, the gentleman, British gentleman over there, who's also named Lee, has done an excellent video series detailing the updated Kill Team second edition. And if you haven't checked out his channel, I would definitely recommend it. He's quite humorous in his descriptions and the ways in which he describes and shows things on his videos with the visual aids that he uses, especially in showing the flying rule, is quite humorous.
I have to check that out. Is that a honey dog knocking? Hey, honey baby. What's up with that?
Oh, she's just got too much energy, and it's too cold to take her for 2 walks. So she's just a ball of nuts.
You can bring her in here if you want.
And that's what I get for not wearing my apron while painting with nice clothes on.
Oh no. Been there before.
But thank you for Grandma's stain remover.
So there's our graffiti. Not gonna be perfect. I'm not aiming for perfect. You know, most dumpster graffiti is not perfect anyways. And here's our rust.
It's a great looking rust effect.
Huh?
That is a great looking rust effect.
Thank you. Put a little bit of yellow on this symbol. There's this one. Rust effect. Oh, this is the wrong one. Sorry, this is the second one. Right here. That stand right here. I'll clean it up later, but you guys don't really need to see that, or let's get on to the miniatures. What you guys came here to see, not me mess around with dumpsters. So Nick, what do you think?
They look great. We're going to have a beautiful Marvel Crisis Protocol board when all the terrain is done. I'm looking super forward to it.
All right. So this is the man with a plan. Or turn down your contrast, or turn up your contrast. Writing this down. Yeah. He does not want to stick. That's fine. He's just super bright. All right, we'll use the bottom of the dumpster. All right. Looks like his main colors are black, black, and more black. White face. So the one thing I am going to use Citadel on this is Bugman's Flesh for good flesh base. I do like their flesh base.
Is that Bugman's Glow?
Yeah, sorry, Bugman's Glove. Is it? Oops. Minute 1-to-1 ratio. You sound very happy. Swap the brush out. Next one. Sorry, I got a little dry spot. All right. Time to start building up. I'm gonna use two things here. One is another Citadel color called Kiss of the Flesh, which is actually a really good flesh tone. And two, I'm gonna do a magenta wash on the skin. I'm gonna take scale 75 magenta. Heavily diluted. Talking like 10 to 1.
So you're going 10 parts dilution to 1 part paint?
10 part water, 1 part paint.
And what's the desired effect from that dilution?
It just goes into the cracks and crevices and highlights parts of the skin. He has veins on his arms. You want to show off all those details?
Basically making a wash out of the color?
Yeah. now while that's drying. Knocking out the black section. Switch brushes. Back to the size 4. Take me forever. It's the black. So, what kind of weapons does? Obviously, he looks like he uses guns, but what else? You know, what's his specialty? Like,
Crossbones is a master in hand-to-hand combat and also using small arms. He usually goes toe-to-toe with Captain America, fist for fist, punch for punch, kick for kick, and then using weapons, usually, of course, deflected by Captain America's vibranium shield.
What's his background?
He was created by writer, of course, Mark Grunwald and artist Kieran Dwyer. First appearing in Captain America number 359, October of 1989. Real name is Brock Rumlow, and he led the Savage Crims gang in New York's Lower East Side during the time. He assaulted 15-year-old Rachel Lighton and fought Rachel's two brothers, killing the elder brother. Rumlow fled, entering Taskmaster's School for Criminals. Within 3 years of becoming an instructor under the name Bingo Brock. As a mercenary, Rumlow enlisted with Albert Malik, the communist Red Skull in Algeria, serving the Red Skull under the name Frag, until he was sent to invade Amin Zola's Switzerland chateau. Rumlow was ultimately the only team member to survive the assault. There he also met and impressed Johann Schmidt, the original Nazi Red Skull, who accepted Brock's services and codenamed him as Crossbones. The true Red Skull sent Crossbones to observe Baron Helmut Zemo's progress in acquiring the Bloodstone fragments and to obtain them. He stood aboard Captain America's flagship and entered Zemo's ship to steal the Bloodstone fragments. He overpowered Diamondback and shot a crossbow bolt that coupled with Captain America's shield. Crossbones was forced to shatter the Bloodstone fragments when the alien entity known as the Hellfire Helix used it to take control of Baron Heinrich Zemo's body. The destruction of the Bloodstone discorporated the Bloodstone Helix. Knowing that his master would be infuriated by the Bloodstone's loss, Crossbones kidnapped Diamondback to Madripoor as bait for Captain America. He challenged Captain America to retrieve Diamondback, but the captain defeated him, although Diamondback escaped, and the Red Skull ordered Crossbones to desist and return to headquarters. The Red Skull then ordered him to retrieve the Controller after the Controller's breakout from the vault. With the Machinesmith, Crossbones investigated the Red Skull's disappearance. Crossbones assembled the Skeleton Crew from the Red Skull's henchmen and led them on a search for the Red Skull, who had been missing since Magneto imprisoned him in an underground bunker. They battled the Black Queen and her Hellfire Club mercenary. Crossbones enlisted the aid of psychic Tristam Macauber to locate the Red Skull. Upon finding his master, Crossbones took the Red Skull to Skull House for convalescence. He next attended Ames' weapons exposition. He battled Daredevil during a failed assassination attempt against the Kingpin. He battled Bullseye during Bullseye's failed assassination attempt against the Red Skull. He battled Captain America again and was defeated. He later recounts how he met the Red Skull. The Red Skull assigned him to discover who killed the Red Skull's spare clone bodies. Alongside the Skeleton Crew, he battled the Schützenhelle-Gruppe in an attempt to rescue the Red Skull, but was captured. He was rescued from the Schützenhelle-Gruppe's body custody by Armin Zola's fake Avenger. Crossbones was eventually fired for questioning Red Skull's decision to ally himself with the Viper. Desperate to regain his position as leader of the Skeleton Crew, Crossbones kidnapped Diamondback, imprisoning her in an abandoned subway station and forced into a brutal regime of combat. Crossbones believed that he had brainwashed Diamondback into betraying Captain America, but Diamondback was actually laying a trap for Crossbones. Diamondback stole samples of Captain America's blood from the Avengers Mansion, then accompanied Crossbones to the Red Skull's mountain fortress. The two were captured and imprisoned, and the Red Skull rehired Crossbones on a temporary basis. He was later attacked by Cutthroat, Skeleton Crew's new leader, who feared that Crossbones would try to take back his position as the Red Skull's right-hand man. Crossbones killed Cutthroat, never realizing that Cutthroat was actually Diamondback's older brother. Crossbones later stabbed Diamondback during Diamondback's escape attempt, only to later save with a blood transfusion in order to be used as bait. He was critically wounded by flying shrapnel during an assault on the fortress by Captain America and the Falcon, and was imprisoned. While imprisoned in the raft, when Electro breaks the inmates out, Crossbones was seen fighting Captain America and Spider-Man. Spider-Man kicked Crossbones in the face, knocking him out. After he escaped from prison, Crossbones became a mercenary and assassin for a number of organizations until he was rehired by the Red Skull, who was later apparently assassinated by the Winter Soldier. Crossbones and his new lover, Cynthia Schmid, the Red Skull's daughter, began hunting Alexander Lukin, the Winter Soldier's commander. They plotted to crash a stolen World War II-era plane into the new Kronos headquarters in London, only to have their plane destroyed by the Red Skull's sleeper robot. While they escaped the destruction of the plane, they found Agent 13 and are about to kill Sharon Carter, only to be stopped by the Red Skull's appearance. They began working with Red Skull/Lukin, whose minds both share Lukin's body. Following the Civil War storyline, Captain America's anti-registration heroes surrendered to Iron Man's pro-registration heroes. While being led from a federal courthouse, Captain America was shot in the shoulder by Crossbones, taking the Red Skull's orders. Crossbones tries to escape in a helicopter, but was tracked by the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier then beat Crossbones into unconsciousness, while Crossbones simply laughed. Falcon then turned Crossbones over to S.H.I.E.L.D. custody. Fallen Son's death of Captain America, Wolverine, along with Daredevil and Doctor Strange, broke into S.H.I.E.L.D. to interrogate Crossbones and threatened to kill him. Crossbones revealed no knowledge of his hiring by the Red Skull. Wolverine left him a bloody mess on the floor after being convinced by Daredevil to spare his life. S.H.I.E.L.D. director Tony Stark arranged for Professor X to scan Crossbones' mind for information, but Professor X found that someone had erased several parts of his memory in order to prevent such a scan. Finn and a new incarnation of the Serpent Squad have broken Crossbones free of S.H.I.E.L.D. custody. They then capture the Winter Soldier when confronting Lukin to find out a relationship with the Red Skull. When Sin and the Serpent Squad attacked the Senate building, Bucky Barnes arrived as the new Captain America. Battling and injuring many of the squad, Crossbones attacked Barnes. After a brutal fight in which Crossbones launched Barnes out of the building, Bucky was saved by Natalia Romanoff's intervention, and Bucky shot Crossbones several times in the chest. The gravely wounded Crossbones was then taken into S.H.I.E.L.D. custody once again. At the start of the Heroic Age event, Crossbones has become a member of the new Thunderbolts team formed in the aftermath of the siege. Government agents working with Luke Cage add Crossbones to the team, knowing that he cannot be reformed, hoping that his extreme methods will alienate the other Thunderbolt members and push them towards rehabilitation. During the team's first mission, Crossbones was exposed to corrupt Terrigen mess during the events of Shadowland. Crossbones manifests the ability to fire a powerful, piercing beam of energy from his face. Theorizing that this ability originates from his exposure to the Terrigen mist, he uses his ability to murder a police officer. Fearing that the Thunderbolts are close to being disbanded following Cage's decision to leave, Crossbones attempted to escape alongside Ghost and Juggernaut. During the attempt, Crossbones used his new ability to fight the unsuspecting Steve Rogers. Crossbones was defeated and discharged from the Thunderbolts after Ghost revealed his murder of the police officer. Crossbones is shown incinerated in a padded cell wearing a straitjacket. Shown incarcerated, not incinerated. Is shown incarcerated in a padded cell wearing a straitjacket. apparently no longer able to use his energy beam.
I like it. I like Incinerator better. So it sounds like he's kind of a loser.
During the Fear Itself storyline, Crossbones was constantly harassed while he was behind bars because he was both a former Thunderbolt member and a neo-Nazi. Shortly after, when he was being beaten up by more thugs, Juggernaut unintentionally causes a breakout in the prison facility called the Raft. Man Mountain Mario, the cousin of Man Mountain Marco, helps defend Crossbones from the thugs. While the two of them were trying to escape, Mario told Crossbones about his grandma who helps criminals leave the border. Crossbone manages to escape and returns the favor by killing Mario to help his escape. He confronts some of the former Avengers Initiative members in New Jersey after he escapes the Raft. He fights Gravity, Frogman, Giger, Scarlet Spider, and Firestar. When he's surrounded, he tosses a grenade at Gravity, but Geiger catches it and is seriously injured, creating an easy distraction for him to escape. During the Ends of the Earth storyline, Crossbone was seen as one of Dr. Octopus's facilities. Sabra fights past some Octobots until Crossbones shoots Sabra. Crossbone later appears as a member of Hydra, who are planning to spread poisonous blood extracted from an inhuman boy named Lucas. He fights Sam Wilson as the new Captain America and Bagalia. Just as he was about to kill Wilson, he is defeated by Misty Knight, who was undercover at that moment. He is later defeated by Wilson when he attacks a Hydra base located in Florida. During the Avengers Standoff storyline, Crossbones was an inmate of Pleasant Hill, a gated community established by S.H.I.E.L.D. When Steve Rogers was at the Pleasant Hill bowling alley trying to reason with Kobik, Crossbones attacks Rogers. Before Crossbones can kill Rogers, Kobik's powers de-age Rogers back to physical prime, which allows the captain to defeat Crossbone. In the aftermath of the events at Pleasant Hill, Crossbone founds a new version of Hydra with the Red Skull and Sen. During the Secret Empire storyline, Crossbones appears as a member of the Army of Evil and took part in the attack on Manhattan in retaliation for what happened at Pleasant Hill. Crossbones and Sen are showed to be in charge of a super prison that was established by Hydra. Their super prison was raided by the Underground in their mission to free their captive friends. During the Devil's Reign storyline, Crossbone appears as a member of Mayor Wilson Fisk's incarnation of the Thunderbolts at the time when Mayor Fisk passed a law that forbids superhero activity. He leads the NYPD into raiding Rand Corporation to arrest Danny Rand, as he didn't have his Iron Fist ability. Danny held his own against Crossbones and the NYPD operatives with him before they were defeated. Powers and abilities. An expert combatant trained in warfare, Crossbones is an accomplished military tactician and is thus able to formulate strategies on the battlefield. He also has extensive training in martial arts, street fighting, marksmanship, and various forms of hand-to-hand combat. He once served as a student at the Taskmaster School for Criminals before becoming an instructor there himself. Physically, Crossbones is tall and well-built, but moves with an athletic grace uncommon for a man of his bulk. In addition, he is proficient in the use of various weapons such as guns, bows, and throwing knives. One of Crossbones' primary weapons are spring-loaded stiletto blades housed in his gauntlets. He also has experience with torture and brainwashing, having effectively reprogrammed Sen, and nearly so with Diamondback. As a member of the Thunderbolts, Crossbones was exposed to corrupt Terrigen Mist during a mission. and shortly after manifested the ability to generate a circle of energy in the front of his face, which he could fire beams capable of piercing and burning his targets. The ability developed to the point where flames engulfed the entirety of his head, while still allowing him to fire focused beams of energy, though these flames could seemingly be doused in water. While his power is active, Crossbones does not appear to be entirely impervious to the flames he generates. After the flames died following his first usage, his mask appears to have been burnt away and his face was heavily scarred.
Nice. Gotta stretch my back a little bit. Oh, Hey, Mr. Nick. A little warm in here, man. Just a hair. Can you still hear me, Mr. Nick?
Talking to the mic again.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? A little technical difficulty here. This guy's coming right on. What did you hear? Um. Oh, it's just the sticky thing falling off. Sorry about that, guys. Is there anyone watching, Miss Nick? Excuse me. Yeah, wind's howling again, huh? Oh yeah. Ooh, look at that. Swimsuit weather.
About Wednesday.
That's what they say. Okay. Now we're just gonna go back and touch up the flesh real fast. Spots we hit. Clean those up real fast while that black drying pretty well, pretty fast actually, but we're gonna fix it. Back get that Bugman's blow we had.
So what do you think of Mr. Crossbones so far? You having fun?
Pretty interesting model. What you munching on there? Oh, I'm good. Like it's my model's the sticky text. Something's up with that. But it says, hey, I'm good. So this guy went toe to toe with Wolverine, huh?
I mean, being a student of the Taskmaster is no joke.
Right, right. All right, next thing is it's a that's the other Citadel color I mentioned 2 hours ago. Welcome, welcome. kiss live on that palette. Nice. Let's go. I think he's a pretty interesting model.
Quite a bit of minute detail on the costume and everything.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's very, very beautiful. What does the audience think about this guy?
But dry. So we'll go in now with some gray. Highlighting his weapon details. Hey Nick, you mind grabbing me like a black wash or a strong wash? Yeah, something or non oil. Yep, works. Coming up on the 20-minute mark. Oh, we're on the 20.
close us out tonight, I'll give us an update on miniature news. We have a new expansion set from Monuments Hobbies Pro Grill line. This set includes the paints plum, bright jade, khaki, neutral gray, a yellow green, a faded green, warm yellow, warm gray, burgundy, dark flesh, and pink. MonumentHobbies.com. Games Workshop has also updated facts for the Gene Stealer Colt's new codex, as well as the Adeptes Custodes pack. There's also controversy in the miniature painting world about Army Painter's new speed paints, as there is an extensive Reddit thread about how some of the paint line is defective. Heated debate going back and forth. City, such a
That could be defective.
that the consistency of it is not right, and it's I think thinned too much or running too much compared on how it's supposed to run from the initial line.
Get better at mixing your paints, I guess. Not everything's perfect.
There's also a War Scrolls update from Age of Sigmar Fire Slayer. New rules for magma droths. And some news that may interest artist Lee. Golden Demon is back for the first time since 2019.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. But I'm not good enough at that.
They are taking submissions for Warhammer 40k single miniatures, vehicles, squads, large miniatures. For Age of Sigmar, they are also taking single miniatures, units, large miniatures. There's also Middle Earth strategy battle game, dioramas, any small scales, duels, and Youngblood, along with the open and a new trophy to go along.
Ooh. I should enter, but enter under youth and have my daughter. So I could say I compete. One.
There are some updates to the rumors for the new Tyranids Codex model line.
You guys get new models?
Currently just rumors, but a couple of more confirmations. There is also some controversy about the value of the new Grey Knight's updated combat. This box has a cost of 150 US dollars, but only provides $192 worth of individual models within the box if bought separately. Considerable lower amount than most combat boxes.
Does it come with books?
Nope.
Just models, that's it.
Yeah, the combat control box. We have results from Warhammer World, and the winner is Harlequin.
Nice.
And Alan comes in first place, 5 wins and a total of 449 points accrued throughout the contest. Second place is Cameron Giles with his Adeptes Custodes. Simon Edwards piloted Necrons, the 3rd place. Stuart Manx, 4th place with Chaos Demons. Custodes also took the 5th, 6th, and 8th place, and Imperial Knights took 7th. No idea how that happened. And that is our update news.
They
Thank you.
just zerged everything.
Sorry, say that again.
Oh, they just straight up zerged everything. They're in the building. What building? Well, for sure it looks the same. So, Mr. Nick, what do you think?
It's like Crossbones. Him onto the table next to Iron Man and the rest of the minute coming soon.
Do that a little bit better, like that.
Really brought out the detail in monocolor miniature.
Thank you. Well, that's it for me. Nick, you want to take us home tonight?
Thank you very much for joining Triple P Paint, Play, and Parlay. Our extended 3-hour broadcast to kick off your weekend. I hope you enjoyed painting this beautiful model from Marvel Crisis Protocol and Atomic Mass Games. Please, if you like what you saw, follow us here on Twitch or YouTube. You can also check out our work on Instagram. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Gitter, all of the social medias. And if you like what you saw, smash that like button. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or constructive criticism, we're all ears. We are a work in progress channel and would be happy to hear any suggestions that you have from us to improve your experience in everything miniatures. Until Mr. Nick in the mornings, this is the Game Master, Mr. Nick, saying good night.
Bye now. Bye-bye.